presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Florida.
San Francisco, home of the Giants, and a nice place for the Marlins. For the past 3 years, Miami has owned this city and won 2 of 3 this weekend. Today by the Bay, the 4-gamer concludes. And on this last day of a 4-game series, you could not pick any better weather. AT Park is beautiful to begin with. You mix in a day like this, and it's glorious in San Francisco today. The Marlins have played well, as they have here the last 3 years. Buster Posey and the Giants. Ed Lucas getting a start in right field in this one. Ryan Vogelsong against Jacob Turner. That's your matchup. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. Welcome to San Francisco. Welcome to what is not only the end of a long road trip and series, but the end of a long stretch without a day off for the Marlins.
Rich, I'll give you a good number to digest. Remember, we talked about the Marlins had a stretch of 20 consecutive games. Coming into this one today, the Marlins are 12-7 during that stretch.
And the Marlins have scored runs here in a variety of ways. And for the Fish, that's the way they've done it all year.
It's the way you like to see it happen. Let's start with Danny Echeverria. Nice hitting with a stroke into right field. Great slide by Jarrett Saltalamacchia. That's how the Marlins got one of their runs. How about a slicing triple out of the reach of Angel Pagan by Garrett Jones? Sacrifice fly. You'd love to see runs come in to score that way. Salty with that. And then, of course, we have to throw in the obligatory shot by Giancarlo Stanton, number 12 on the year for G.
All right, Stanton, though, getting the day off. You never know. If needed as a pinch hitter, you might see him late. It's the Fish and the Giants. They finish off the series. A chance to take 3 of 4 from the best team in baseball, at least when this series started. Let's go places by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. By Checkers, visit your local Checkers for the $2 shrimp and fries box. And by your South Florida Honda dealers and sfhondadealers.com. Juan Marichal statue outside of AT&T Park. Just a gorgeous day by the bay. Gentle breeze is going out to right field as the Marlins will bring this lineup to the plate. J.M. Lexus brings it to you. First day off for Giancarlo Stanton, so Danny Echeverria followed by Derek Dietrich, and Christian Yelich slides into the 3 spot. Casey McGee hits cleanup. Terrific road trip for Garrett Jones, and he has good career numbers against Ryan Vogelsong. Ed Lucas is in right field. Marcell Ozuna is in center. Jeff Mathis behind the plate. And Jacob Turner looking for his first career road win.
And there's a look at the 36-year-old veteran out of Kutztown University. And you talk about Ryan Vogelsong, he's been around. 17th year as a professional, but 8th in the big leagues, and he's found a home with the San Francisco Giants. There's no question about that. 2-3 in his career against the Marlins in 8 games, 4 starts, but a real nice ERA of 2.35.
And Echeverria in the leadoff spot to give Giancarlo Stanton a day off. Mike Redmond has had to maneuver his lineup, and he's dropped Christian Yelich from the leadoff spot into the 3 spot. And I think in a couple years that might be the spot that Yelich occupies permanently. Pinch a penny brings you the first pitch as Vogelsong delivers a fastball right in there for a strike. Kerwin Danley calling balls and strikes here in San Francisco. 70 degrees as we start this ball game on an afternoon in San Francisco. Echeverria, couple hits, couple RBIs in this series, and he'll step off. The ball on Thursday night was really jumping here. Friday night it carried well. Last night probably the coldest of the 3 nights. Giancarlo Stanton was the only player on either team to hit a ball out of the ballpark. But I think today, Tommy, it's daytime and the wind's blowing out to right center. I think this will be a good day for the hitters.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the ball carry pretty well today.
Breaking ball, and Echeverria running up to bunt followed that thing all the way over to the opposite batter's box. It's 2-1.
There's that breaking ball by Vogelsong, who with the Giants in 2011 had an all-star season. Was 13-7 with a real nice ERA.
Giants have done such a terrific job of developing starting pitching, from Kane to Lincecum to Bumgarner. This is a guy they really discovered in a former Giant long ago, kind of found on the scrap heap. In 2010, before that all-star year, he spent the entire year in AAA in 2 organizations. Here's the 2-2. He had pitched in Japan for 3 seasons before that.
You know, even in Japan, where he learned a lot, by the way, about pitching and about how to deal with the customs in Japan, he wasn't overwhelming. He was 11-14 and in those 3 years, an ERA over 4.
Count full on Echeverria, and he fouls it back and out of play. And Vogelsong, you know, the amazing thing about Vogelsong is not only his path to get here, but when he stepped on the big stage in the postseason in 2012, he may have been the Giants' best starter. 4 starts, 3-0, a 1.09 ERA. That was the year that, remember, Lincecum faltered, but then found a home in the bullpen in the postseason. And Vogelsong was dynamite in his 4 starts. Another 3-2, soft line drive. Pence won't get it. It falls in front for a hit. And Echeverria leads off the first with a base hit. Giants are a very good defensive team. And Tommy Hutton will introduce Los Gigantes.
All right, they've made a couple of changes as well. Tyler Colvin in there in left field. Gregor Blanco starts. No Angel Pagan today. Pence in right. Sandoval, Crawford, Hicks, and Morse around the infield. Buster Posey back in the lineup. And what a terrific at bat by Echeverria to get that base hit and serve it into right field.
Now Derek Dietrich, he has enjoyed his stay here in San Francisco. Dietrich's hit in 5 straight, a couple of homers, and he's driven in 3. He had some big hits on Friday night in Miami's 7-5 win. 2-run homer and a key single in the 9th inning when Miami rallied for 2 runs. Echeverria has not had a great year stealing bases. And a breaking ball misses. It's 1-0. It's just 1 for 4. And he's back in with a dive. Mike Morse has been manning first base throughout this series.
Mike Morse is a big man.
He is. Broad-shouldered, strong. He seems to look a lot bigger on the infield than he did in the outfield. Off-speed pitch for a strike. It's 1-1. Brett Butler got the helmet, got the sunglasses, got the stopwatch. Let's see it 1-1 if Miami does a little something here. Yelich is on deck. It's a strike.
It's not an overpowering fastball, but after the changeup, it was well placed by Vogelsong on the inside part of the plate. Yeah, I think when you have a game, and this is the first game that Stanton's gotten off, you might have to think about playing it a little differently as far as scoring runs.
Yelich in the 3 spot. McGee is hitting cleanup. Jones hitting 5th. Strike 3 call. Dietrich goes down.
Well, the one inside froze him, and the one away was away. So that's a tough AB for Derek Dietrich. Vogelsong got the call that time.
Kerwin Danley behind the plate. We'll see if that pitch that's off the plate is a strike most of the day, or if it tightens up. Here's Yelich now. Yelich a couple hits and a solo homer in this series.
You know, there are a few hitters around baseball that you could see in the leadoff spot and also see as a number 3 hitter, but not a lot. And so that's the uniqueness of Yelich and his ability to hit in those spots. He also would fit in nicely number 2 in a batting order.
With any young player that comes up in the big leagues, Echeverria just back, there's almost an automatic comparison to who does the guy remind you of. And with Yelich, one of the names that we've heard back east especially is a guy from a few generations ago, played for the Philadelphia Phillies, who played college ball in this area, and that's Vaughn Hayes.
Yeah, I've heard that. We've heard Sean Green references. I thought the Vaughn Hayes one was a good one, though.
Because Hayes had speed.
Hayes ran a lot better than Sean Green, yeah.
And Yelich runs well. They both had sweet swings. Oh, and 2.
It was a rough night for Christian Yelich, and he had admitted it against Tim Lincecum with that changeup. He said that changeup moved, it would dive away, and it was a good one.
Yelich would end up going 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts last night. Runner goes, pitch out. Giants have it smelled out. High throw, out. Well, 2 strikes. The Giants figured something was up.
Well, they guessed right. A lot of times you'll pitch out. The throw was a little high, but the tag got down there quickly by Brandon Crawford. Echeverria tried to change hands. Didn't help because the throw was there so much in time.
Fastball misses in.
But that's a part of Mike Redmond trying to get something going, to do something with Stanton not in the lineup. And if you just joined us, he's okay. He's just getting the day off.
2-2 to Yelich. Reed Johnson not in the lineup. Johnson a little sore, and so if necessary, the Marlins could use him as a pinch hitter. That's why Ed Lucas is getting the start in right field. And as well, Mike Redmond said he didn't want Baker in right field. Yelich leaving a little early.
He bent over, took off that ankle guard that he wears. He thought it was ball 4.
Apologies to everyone.
Embarrassing a little bit.
Full count, 3-2. Vogelsong strikes him out. And the Marlins are done here in the first. Jacob Turner gets the ball next. Scoreless ball game, bottom of the first in San Francisco. It's a sweet look out on the bay. Here come the Giants. 27-17 of the Giants. Jan Lexus brings you their starting lineup. Gregor Blanco, Angel Pagan out with a shoulder injury. Hunter Pence, 5-game streak. Buster Posey, Pablo Sandoval, Michael Morse, Tyler Colvin, Brandon Hicks, Brandon Crawford, and Ryan Vogelsong. Jacob Turner looking for his first career road victory. An 0-1 record and a 6.75 ERA.
Well, he'd like to think about the one game he had here in this ballpark. His only start in his career against the Giants came at AT Park. 7 innings, 6 hits, gave up just 1 run. He had a no decision, but pitched very well.
Delivers a fastball for a strike to Gregor Blanco. This has been Angel Pagan's spot. But Pagan last night, diving after the Garrett Jones line drive, injured his shoulder, undergoing an MRI this morning. Probably not available to pinch hit.
Which really straps Bruce Bochy with a short bench. He was working with 4 men on the bench anyway. And if Pagan is not available, that'll make it just 3.
Here's the 0-2. He hit him on an 0-2 pitch. Turner hits Gregor Blanco.
And this is a guy that'll try to take off and steal. So you have to be careful with Blanco. I think it caught him on that front foot.
Here now is Pence. Pence takes a strike. Pence has been hot. 11 for his last 23. The Giants have been hot coming into this series. San Francisco taking 3 of 4 from the Dodgers, taking 2 of 3 from the Braves, and took the first game against the Marlins, and at that point they were sporting the best record in all of baseball. Runner goes. Mathis's throw. Safe. One of the things that Jacob Turner has found in the big leagues is base stealers willing to run very quickly against him.
Well, Blanco doesn't have a lot of playing time, but that's his 5th stolen base. He actually had a game in which he stole 3 bases. That's very close. If that tag got him on the leg. But as of this moment, we do not have a challenge from Mike Redmond.
Pence swings and misses.
Matter of fact, the other day, here's the play. His hand wasn't on the bag. Boy, he actually got him.
One and two. And the pitch misses down low. To finish that play at second base, one of the things I would suspect that Mark Rippinger, the second base umpire, looked at was the fact that Dietrich, after the first swipe, went back and tried to tag him again, almost to admit, I didn't get him the first time. Dietrich may not have been aware that he brushed the pant leg. 2-2 to Pence. Bouncer. Dietrich has it and gets the out. But the Giants move Blanco 90 feet away for Posey and then Sandoval.
Let's look at the defense for the Marlins today with Yelich, Ozuna. First ever start for Ed Lucas as a right fielder. McGee and Etch on the left side. Dietrich, Garrett Jones, Mathis behind the plate. All those games for Ed Lucas, and just a little over 10 innings in the outfield. So he'll have a challenge because this is not an easy place. This is a good play. That ball scooted and stayed down on Dietrich as he was going to his left. He stayed right with it. Yeah, this is a challenge to play right field here, even for an experienced outfielder.
Infield is back. Posey is poised. And he takes a strike from Turner. Posey fouls it. Much like Giancarlo Stanton, you can see Ed Lucas is playing in right center field. The Marlins very aggressive with their shifts. And in this ballpark, especially with Triples Alley out there, Stanton has spent a lot of time out in right center. And that's where Lucas is now. And the idea is you're not going to get a ball down the line, so you might as well try to cut one off if you can in the gap.
Yeah, assuming that most balls in that gap, in that Triples Alley, are going to turn out to be triples. If it's down the line, maybe hold that batter to a 2-base hit. But in talking to the Giants, the Marlins are doing it to an extreme. A lot of teams will do that, but the Marlins have shifted over more than most clubs.
Posey takes outside. Counts 1-2. As we told you, the wind, at least on the flags, is blowing out, but you can see gusts of wind on the infield swirling. And Posey gets it in the air. It travels quite well. Ozuna, driven to the track, makes the catch. And San Francisco is on the board. You think about this run, Tommy. An 0-2 count on Blanco. Turner hit him. Didn't hold him at first base. He stole the bag. And the Giants, without a hit, have a run.
Well, the Giants, as the Marlins today, playing without a real igniter in their lineup, Angel Pagan. So they know they may have to do things a little differently to score some runs. Well, they did everything just right there. Good job by Pence getting Blanco over to third. A good job by Posey getting him in.
Here is Sandoval now, 1-0 San Francisco. Pablo Sandoval's got 4 hits in the series. He's hitting just .213, but that's a heck of a lot better than he was about 10 days to 2 weeks ago. Sandoval last night extended his hit streak to 8. He's got a dozen hits in those 8 games. And so it's pushed him above the 200 mark.
Not too long ago, he was at 184.
And the Giants are hopeful that now that the hits are coming, that some of the power comes back. He's got just 2 home runs. He is one of the more unique hitters in all of baseball. Sandoval, a switch hitter, and from both sides of the plate, a free swinger.
Well, he was a World Series MVP 2012 for the Giants.
Well, you hit 3 home runs right out of the chute like he did. I believe 2 of them were against Justin Verlander.
Yeah, 3 home runs in the series, but they all came in game 1.
Yeah, that set the tone pretty quickly. Giants swept Detroit in 2012. Sandoval finds center field. Lucas cuts it off, and San Francisco has their first hit. Here's Michael Morse now. Morse, who has been just a terrific addition to this ball club. An injury-filled year last year with Seattle. He actually finished 2013 with Baltimore. He clobbers one up the middle. And so the Giants followed the sacrifice fly with a couple of hits, and it brings Tyler Colvin up.
We've talked about the starting rotation, how each needs to reach back, step up a little bit with the absence now of Jose Fernandez. And in my opinion, I think a very important start for Jacob Turner today. Last outing in Los Angeles, he was going along well. No runs through the first 5 innings. But then he really struggled and eventually gave up 8 hits and 5 runs, 4 earned in just 5 1/3 innings.
He had a terrific start in San Diego. The Marlins beat the Padres, and they thought this was going to be a great 11-game road trip, and then saw the Padres come roaring back and then take the next 3. The Marlins then lost the next 2 in Los Angeles before scoring all those runs in the final game.
And I think there was somewhat of an effect. It's hard to quantify how it affects a ball club, but somewhat when the news came out about Jose having to have Tommy John surgery, and I think there was an effect there for 2 or 3 days.
Without a doubt. Miami may have gotten it all out of their system, though, on that Wednesday night in L.A. when they beat the Dodgers 13-3. They came back and lost the first game here 6-4, but of course 2 straight wins, 7-5, and a 5-0 shutout win with another outstanding effort from Tom Kohler, who went 7 innings, and the bullpen was really good last night as well. Mathis wrestling with that one, subdues it. Colvin, the former Cub, in the absence of Brandon Belt, Colvin up and has been playing in the outfield. Over the head of Echeverria into center field. Ozuna has the ball. His throw comes home and it's cut. And it's 2-0. And the Giants are off to a fast start.
Good hitting by Tyler Colvin to take this ball the other way. Got it over the head of Echeverria. It's a pitch that if he tries to pull it, he probably hits a ground ball to second base.
Good throw by Ozuna. Nice cut by McGee. Keeps runners first and second. And here's Brandon Hicks. Hicks 1 for 11 in the series with an RBI. And Turner pours in a strike. Sunday's always a day to check the top tens and who's leading what. And with his effort last night, Tom Kohler has snuck into the top 10 in ERA, 2.25.
Oh, very good.
8th in the National League. Just in front of Andrew Kashner, just behind Julio Teheran.
Who, by the way, Andrew Kashner has been placed on the disabled list.
With elbow discomfort.
With elbow discomfort. Never a good sign.
Well, the Padres feel that it is simply sore and that with a couple of weeks off, he'll be fine. Let's hope they're right.
And the Nationals are hoping that shoulder inflammation for Gio Gonzalez is not serious. Gio placed on the disabled list. So we always keep an eye on our Miami guys.
Yeah, you want to make sure Gio is okay. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two.
One area that you and I discussed last night, that it's like a good news, bad news situation for Mike Redmond. He has multiple choices when it comes to a long man. The good news is that he has those choices. The bad news is that he might have to use them.
And I think that plays into your comment about the importance of these starts for Jacob Turner. And Turner, I guess, if you want to say, is kind of the 4th guy in the rotation. But if he doesn't all of a sudden start earning his keep, so to speak, and pitch like he did in San Diego, there's a couple other guys down there that would like a shot, and there may be some guys in Double-A that would like a shot. Full count, runners going, and it's fouled at the plate. Anthony DeSclafani is penciled in to start on Tuesday. The Marlins just signed.
I think it's in pen. All
right, well, let me put it in there then. Randy Wolf, I don't think signed, and I don't know that the Marlins signed him to be a long man.
I don't think they did.
So there's competition, not just for the last spot in the rotation, but I think the last 2 spots in the rotation. Into left. It's a base hit. Yelich has it. Morse around. He will score. And it's 3-0.
4 consecutive hits now for the Giants. Well, fall behind. Fastball's right there, and the Giants are just attacking. And on that base hit, it was Brandon Hicks attacking.
Chuck Hernandez is out, and he'll talk with Jacob Turner. Giancarlo Stanton getting the day off. We were talking about the top 10s in baseball. Stanton still leads the National League in home runs. He's tied with Troy Tulowitzki. They both have a dozen. He's first in runs batted in with 43. Yasiel Puig is actually pulled into second with 35. Stanton right now second in slugging percentage, 615. Tulowitzki at 763. Casey McGee continues in the top 10 in RBIs with 28. McGee is 7th. And so the lineup now all the way down to the 8th spot, and it's Brandon Crawford. At the corners are the Giants with Colvin at 3rd and Hicks at 1st.
And getting back to our conversation, Rich, trust me, Jacob Turner has to know all that. He has to realize that there are others who can fill his role. And coming into this game, Turner's ERA 6.75. It's gone up to over 7 now with the struggles here in the first inning.
Ground ball. Dietrich gets the out, and the inning is over. Not before San Francisco gets 3. That leadoff walk opened the door, and the Giants walked right through. Boat. How cool is that on San Francisco Bay? A blast of thunder. Tuesday, Marlins back in action at home against the Phillies, and with the Popeyes ticket offer, you purchase a chicken combo meal at any participating Popeyes location. Bring your receipt to Marlins Park, and on that Tuesday, you'll get 2 home run porch tickets as the Marlins and the Phillies meet at 7:10. Well, the Giants have jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and here in the second, Casey McGee, Garrett Jones, and Ed Lucas facing Ryan Vogelsong. And a strike to McGee. McGee, big hits all year, and in this series, he had a nice one last night, a double, and that got the Marlins rolling in the 6th. Garrett Jones would then triple him home, and McGee had 2 enormous RBI singles on Friday night.
I think one of the amazing numbers on Casey McGee, there's another pitch off the plate, is his ability and his numbers against right-handed pitching. Casey McGee came into the game today hitting .326 against righties.
McGee a tapper to short. Crawford around it and makes the play. Scouting report on Ryan Vogelsong.
We've seen him really mix it up so far. He throws fastballs and cutters. We've seen that. It's not an overpowering fastball. He has that tight curveball. And even though the fastball isn't overpowering, he'll elevate it to get a strikeout every now and then.
Garrett Jones. A very nice road trip and a nice series here. Takes a strike. Hit the ball hard twice last night. Line to center. Pagan made a tumbling catch. And then he lined to center again in the 6th. And Pagan tumbled, but he didn't make the catch. Injured his shoulder, and the ball got to the wall for a triple. Jones riding a 6-game hit streak at the plate. What's impressive about the road trip and the streak for Jones, Tommy, is that he's hit himself out of the shift. He's hit so many balls up the middle and the left that all of a sudden teams have gone back to a conventional alignment.
What was it in L.A.? He bunted, and then he stayed back and hit a ball almost over the third base bag for base hits. So, yeah, the Giants now are, yeah, they're pretty normal. They're not straight up. Second baseman Brandon Hicks playing him over the pole. But you see both players on the left side of the infield. Sandoval way off the line, but still not the full-out shift.
Another full house in San Francisco. Ed Lucas on deck. Longest sellout streak in baseball. He is here by the bay. To right, and Pence makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 2nd. If you're watching this telecast from home, get on the internet and jump on Facebook or on Twitter. We'll keep you up to date with all the stats, scores, latest news surrounding your favorite Florida teams. Now Lucas, who finds himself in right field. And I would expect when Ed Lucas was told, Ed, you're in there and you're in right, his eyes lit up, because he knows that part of his value is his versatility.
I'll tell you another reason his eyes lit up. He said, I remember this place. Last year in June, AT Park was where Ed Lucas homered for the first time as a major leaguer. After all those years, after 10 years in the minor leagues, hit it off Barry Zito.
Barry Zito hasn't signed with anybody yet. I think I saw him in Beta Breakers, actually.
Was he wearing an Oakland uni or a Giants uni?
AT&T U-verse rewind. Tommy Hutton wants it. Tommy Hutton gets it.
It was a curveball. I was going to guess it was the curveball, too. About 5-6 rows up. See, Zito could have run in the Beta Breakers and worn both jerseys.
And no one would have recognized it because the outfits. Beta Breakers is a race that was run here in San Francisco. It's a traditional event here in San Francisco, and it is a wild, fun event with costumes that you could never imagine.
What did we say? It's like combining Halloween
with Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras and St. Patty's Day.
All in a foot race. Well, Vogelsong is sailing along right now. The Giants in San Francisco lead the Marlins 3-0.
Francisco Giants with the 3-0 lead here in the second. Not the start that Jacob Turner wanted to things. He has 17 road starts in his career, but he's 0-10. So how aware is he of not having a win on the road?
I'm only aware of it because you guys make a big deal about it. But, you know, I've pitched well on the road, you know, and not gotten it. And then, you know, other times I've had bad games. So, you know, you just try to keep the team in the game. And, you know, as far as winning and losing, you know, I just want the team to win.
So, with a ground ball in the hole at short, Echeverria knocks it down. And another hit for the Giants.
Well, now 5 of the last 6 Giants hitters have gotten base hits. And if you look back to that first inning where Jacob Turner struggled, he got ahead 0-2, 2-2, 1-2, 1-2. He just couldn't put any of the Giant hitters away. So it wasn't like he was falling behind. He only had one 3-2 count, and that was to Hicks, who ended up getting a single.
Allison, as Turner remarked, his ERA on the road is just under 4, so it's not like he's pitched horribly on the road.
Exactly, and actually his road ERA in his career is a run lower than his home ERA. So as he mentioned, he's pitched well on the road, pitched well enough to win that game in San Diego, gave up just the 1 run to the Ian Kennedy, who had the home run. So he's been the recipient of some bad luck, but today is struggling. Jacob Turner on the mound. Tommy, do you believe that when he says that he's not really aware or doesn't think about the fact that he's never won on the road?
No. I don't think we have to remind him of that. I guarantee he knows he's never won a game on the road.
Now, Turner right now trailing in the ballgame 3-0. The Giants, they hit batter Blanco in the first. He was ahead 0-2, hit him. And since then, the Giants have rolled.
You and I talk a lot about motivation for different players. We talk about it with Tom Kohler, motivated because of where he was drafted. The fact that he's never won a game on the road should motivate a Jacob Turner.
Blanco in the leadoff spot. Pagan undergoing an MRI on that shoulder he hurt last night.
And it gets me off on another thing, but to me, the ERA and the fact that, and I'm not just saying about Turner, okay, he's pitched well, the ERA is okay. You got to want to win games. A starting pitcher's job is to win games. But when all the stuff comes out about, well, his ERA, his whip was good, he hasn't won games. You need to win games. That's the bottom line for a starting pitcher.
And a walk.
And you're not going to win games giving up a base hit to the pitcher and walking the next hitter.
A walk to Blanco, came in hitting at 146. And runners first and second, and here is Pence. Pence bounced out back in the first, but it was a productive ground out. Blanco had stolen second. Pence moved him to third.
Well, the only thing right now that's going to keep Blanco at first is Vogelsong at second.
Pence fouls it. Hunter Pence, of course, a terrific start to his career with the Houston Astros. Marlins saw him for a season and a half with the Phillies. Pence out of the University of Texas, Arlington.
Here's another situation. Once again, Jacob Turner's gotten ahead. 0-2, now it's 1-2. We've never asked Hunter Pence. We've talked to him numerous times. We got to remember to do this when the Giants come to Miami, which they do right after the All-Star break. Down the road, along the line in his career, did anybody ever come up to him and say, "You'll never hit this way"?
Or throw the way he throws.
Yeah.
He's such a unique player.
You're going to have to change things. You're never going to get to the big leagues this way.
Well, when it's all said and done, the one thing that, and you hear scouts talk about it, his bat is in the hitting zone a long time. He swings and misses at a good breaking ball. Turner gets a strikeout of Pence. We invite you to tweet your photo using the hashtag FLFanPhoto. It's a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T.
That time, Jacob Turner made some good pitches. Got ahead, put Pence away, who will chase that pitch with 2 strikes.
Posey looked like his leg buckled as he swung the bat, and he kind of gingerly walks away. Watch this.
With that back leg, the ankle, the knee, everything kind of gave way.
Counts 0-1. Posey's sacrifice fly was to deep left center. He's driven in 23. We remarked yesterday at how odd it is to see Miami and San Francisco near the top of a lot of big offensive categories, from home runs, on base percentage, slugging percentage, runs scored. The Rockies are the leaders in all of those categories, but the Giants and Marlins have been running 2 and 3 for the last couple of weeks. Certainly Stanton's big year and the additions of Jones, McGee, and Saltalamacchia have helped Miami. And for the Giants, the arrival of Michael Morse and a hot start by a guy like Buster Posey and Brandon Hicks at the bottom of the order.
Well, even looking on this road trip, the Marlins on this road trip have out-homered their opponents 14-9.
That's out. The Giants as a team.
That's out, but that's a pitch that's been called a strike today, too.
Giants have hit 50 home runs. Rockies 59. Two on the way. Got him. Nicely done. Turner gets Posey. So a strikeout of 2 really good hitters in Pence and Posey.
You know, I like the way after not getting the call but making a good pitch, he came back with the same pitch, and Posey knew he may have caught a break on the one before because it was close, and that time he got him to chase it. Jeff Mathis, he called for it, wanted that fastball, had a little movement, and put it right there.
Now Sandoval. Giants open the inning with a single by Ryan Vogelsong, the pitcher. Sandoval blasts one right center field. Lucas is there and he makes the catch. So in his first game of the big leagues in the outfield, Lucas has to go to about 410 feet to make that catch. 3-0 Giants on top. Palace of Fine Arts. We've seen the Presidio, Ghirardelli Square, Pier 39, Golden Gate Bridge. Many cool places in this big city, which is part of the Bay Area, which has a lot of other alternatives. You can go up to Napa and wine country.
You can get to Napa in a little over an hour.
Go south down to Monterey, see the aquarium, go down and see Pebble Beach, Carmel.
Take the 17-mile drive. Who knows? Maybe run into Clint Eastwood.
Marin County, just north, across the Golden Gate Bridge. You go over east, you get Oakland, Berkeley. You can go to scenic Martinez.
See the birthplace of Joe DiMaggio.
There you go. Tug McGraw was born there as well.
That's right.
Here's Ozuna. And looper into right. Sounded like he busted his bat, but he'll take it. It's a base hit to lead off the third. Second hit for the Fish against Ryan Vogelsong.
When you have a game such as this one today, when Giancarlo's getting the day off, that's a good pitch too by Vogelsong. So nicely done by Ozuna. You would hope to and like to see a couple of hitters who maybe have been cold, like to see them step up. So nice start for Ozuna.
This has a little feel of Candlestick today because the swirling winds at time picking up the dirt from the warning track or the infield. A lot of guys trying to get it out of their eyes.
I don't know the exact dates, but there were periods where Candlestick, the dirt on the warning track, it was just awful. The dirt would blow, the papers would blow. Then they changed it and they made the warning track AstroTurf to try to counter that.
Well, Candlestick was all AstroTurf at one point, and they went back to natural grass. Pitch misses away. Of course, the Giants had their great teams with Mays and McCovey, and then the next generation, guys like Jack Clark.
Jeff Kent.
Well, Will Clark and Tom O'Malley and some other guys came through, and then Bonds and Kent, Matt Williams,
Kevin Mitchell,
Boogie Bear.
You talked about those Mays McCovey Giants. We saw a terrific complementary player to those teams walk up in the press box today, Jim Davenport.
Ozuna away from first, and Mathis swings and misses. Counts 2-2.
You can watch, and as you see Vogelsong, you see that he's not the rare back overpowering. He's methodical out there. Works at cutter, works at breaking ball. And for him to have success, has to just move the ball around.
Marcell Ozuna has led off the third with a base hit. Giants got 3 in the first. And he gets Mathis. We had a chance yesterday to run into Willie Mays and say hello. The Gecko wasn't with us, but he presents the quote of the day, brought to you by Geico. They throw the ball, I hit it. They hit the ball, I catch it. 660 home runs spanning 22 seasons. You noted that playing in Candlestick may have hurt Willie McCovey's overall numbers.
Same thing with Mays.
Think about what it did to Mays.
Absolutely. And it was not easy playing the outfield in Candlestick.
Turner sits down a real nice bunt, and Morse gets the out at first. So nice job by Jacob Turner. And with 2 outs, Echeverria will try to knock in a run here.
It's an area that I think we've all seen improvement in, not only in the position players, but the pitchers in bunting this year with the help of Brett Butler.
We've seen both Willie Mays and Willie McCovey at the ballpark here during this 4-game series.
So one of the great old broadcasters of all time as well.
Lon Simmons. There's McCovey.
I think it's great with McCovey and Mays. You rarely see them without a Giants baseball cap.
Giants have done a terrific job of, with such long and rich tradition and history, going back into the 60s, whether it's Mays or McCovey. Vida Blue has been involved in the organization. JT Snow, Will Clark. A.J. Burnett, Anthony DeSclafani is the matchup. Burnett, the weathered veteran. DeSclafani making his second career start. That's Tuesday night. 1-1 pitch. Sharp 2-hopper to Hicks, who gets the out at first. And Vogelsong so far, 3 shutout innings. On top of the Marlins, this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins. Jacob Turner now, who turns 24 here in a few days, on the 21st of May.
Yeah, you think about it. This his last start as a 23-year-old. But he made a nice comeback after the first inning, and then after the first 2 hitters reached base last inning, he made some real good pitches to get Pence, Posey, and Sandoval some tough hitters.
Well, he gets 3 guys who had hits against him in the first inning: Morse, Colvin, and Hicks. Morse sends it into the seats. Outside of the telecast, we were talking about the National League East. At start of play, the Braves 22-19. The Marlins and the Nationals a half game back. The Mets 2.5 back, and the Phillies 3.5 back.
But right now, St. Louis in the top of the 9th. They're in St. Louis, has a 5-4 lead over the Braves. And the Nationals have beaten the Mets.
Yeah, they beat them 6-3. Ryan Zimmerman beats Zach Wheeler. And Jacob Turner looks sharp.
Well, he looks like a completely different pitcher. in that first inning. Good pitches. So maybe a little wake-up call after that first inning. But, boy, he's made some nice pitches.
Now Tyler Colvin is up. And that Cardinal Brave game is in the 9th, 5-4 St. Louis. Freddie Freeman has hit his 8th home run. Justin Upton has hit his 10th.
Boy, the struggles are continuing for Dan Uggla. Dan Uggla hitting in the 170s.
He's 0 for 3 in that ball game. Uggla on the year, a couple homers, 10 RBIs. And that's in 31 games. Team that we talked about, the Padres, won last night. They're back in Colorado. Marlins saw them to open this trip. They're playing better. They're just 2 under now, 21-23, but they're trailing Colorado 2-1 in the bottom of the 3rd in Colorado. 2-1. Colvin on the ground. Echeverria loads up. High throw. Got him. Although first base coach Roberto Kelly not real pleased. Bruce Bochy hasn't budged yet, but he's climbing the steps, probably waiting for the phone call to come from the video room. Ugh.
Boy, that's close.
Yeah, here comes Bochy.
And here comes Bochy.
And the fact of the matter is, Colvin didn't move from first base. Colvin did not go into the dugout. He waited.
Ron Wotus on the bench will give Bochy the nod, thumbs up, thumbs down, as he discusses things with Lance Barksdale.
It's a tough call for an umpire because the first baseman, rather than stretch out, had to stretch up the line.
I think when Echeverria fielded the ball, he straightened and knew he had to get a little something extra, and by doing that, made Garrett Jones stretch. But evidently,
no challenge. I think the second look we had might have been a little bit more definitive. And by that, we're talking about the Giants' replay room. It's funny how you have a whole new vocabulary in baseball.
How about who you, in your research and homework, discovered who the replay coach or executive is with the Giants?
Sean Dunston.
Yeah, former shortstop.
And Dunston actually said last night that Hicks missed the bag at first. So even the Giant replay room had Hicks missing the bag at first base.
I mean, we saw Sean Dunston the other day, but I did not realize he was their replay coordinator.
Well, that's the thing. Teams have stocked. I mean, the video guys, Cullen McRae does a terrific job for the Marlins.
Fantastic. Always has.
But his emphasis is always on providing scouting reports.
Providing things for the players.
Self-analysis on swings.
I think you and I need some self-analysis provisions, too. But we'll check with Cullen on that. Hey, by the way, the ball club last night presented Pat Shine with the game ball.
And that's where I was headed. Teams have stocked their video room with baseball people, guys that have coached or managed in the minor leagues. And Pat Shine, a guy that was a teammate of Mike Revens in college, that also coached here on the West Coast. He is Miami's video guy. He got the game ball last night. He's the one that spotted that Hicks missed first base. Hicks swings and misses, and Jacob Turner all of a sudden has turned on a dime. He has retired the last 6 he's faced. You can see across the bay, the Oakland airport. Get a crazy good deal to see the Marlins with the Chevron Crazy 8 ticket offer. Participating Chevron is where you want to go. Fill up Chevron with Techron gasoline. Bring your receipt to the ticket office. And get up to 60% off lower level tickets. Restrictions apply. Wednesday is the next Crazy 8 offer against the Phillies at 7:10 start. In San Francisco, Derek Dietrich goes after the first pitch from Ryan Vogelsong, a changeup at 82 miles an hour. And the count's 0-1, and Vogelsong has thrown 3 shutout innings so far at the Marlins. Dietrich, Yelich, McGee, Giancarlo Stanton getting the day off. And Mike Redmond shuffling the lineup. He's got Yelich in the 3 spot. Ouch. Dietrich gets hit on his way to first.
Let's see if the Marlins can capitalize on a hit batter the way the Giants did. The one thing with Stanton getting the day off, and Mike Redmond said it, he said it's probably not going to be the whole day off. It gives him a nice bit of ammunition on the bench that can really change an inning if Bruce Bochy knows he has Stanton available.
Counts 1-0. Sandoval creeping in at third. Yelich takes a strike. A little different feel now for Yelich in terms of bunting. Now in the 3 spot. I know you don't want to change your game.
No, you really have to not think about that and just have the same approach. Easier said than done.
The one difference I would think for Yelich, and you hit in a variety of spots in the lineup, his first at bat, he's able to see at least what Vogelsong is throwing to the guys in front of him and maybe appreciate what he has to go through on a nightly basis, leading off in the first inning.
What's amazing how one batter can change the complexion. You go back to the end of the 3rd inning with a man in scoring position, and it was Echeverria batting as opposed to, in most cases, it would have been Yelich batting.
Well, if you want to take it a step further, how one hitter can change the complexion of an inning. Remember, Jacob Turner was 0-2 on Gregor Blanco before he hit him. And that kind of opened the door for the Giants to score 3 runs. Yelich sprays it out towards Crawford, flips there, and the turn is clean and on the mark by Hicks. The Giants get a double play.
We haven't seen it too often. Last night, Christian Yelich hit into a 6-4-3 double play. He's extremely tough to double up because he runs so well. But that one was pretty routine because he hit the ball sharply. So only the 4th time all year he's grounded into a double play.
Giants have turned 48. McGee. Case McGee bounced to short back in the 2nd.
See where Drew Butera pitched again for the Diamondbacks last night.
It's his 3rd appearance of the year. He got lit up last night.
He got lit up. He didn't have the good stuff. Gave up a home run, a couple of runs, gave up a home run to Paul Goldschmidt.
That's a 3-2 Dodger lead in Arizona right now in the third.
So let me get this straight. You have $160 million or $260 million payroll, and Buter has been used twice already out of the bullpen.
Well, he's been used twice this week, I believe 3 times.
3 times all year.
The Dodger bullpen was a bit ragged. I mean, you compare, if you're going to compare Giants to Dodgers, and who doesn't out west, the Giants have a decided advantage in their bullpen.
Much better bullpen.
From closer through setup guys, and then the Giants have multiple setup guys.
It's almost like the Dodgers just put together a bunch of ex-closers and said, hey, this is going to work.
It's like Ringo Starr's all-star band. You know, guys from different groups. Not really the headliner guys, but 3-2 coming. No offense to Ringo there. Liner to right, and it's in for a base hit. That's where the Marlins have found their hits, out in right. Echeverria, Ozuna, and now McGee have all gone out Pence's direction.
Ringo has a lot of clout, though. He can get some good starts.
Yes, he can. South Florida Honda Dealers brings you Marlins Live pregame. Back home, Anthony DeSclafani, go Gator. A lot of Gator fans, I would expect, will be watching and at the ballpark and participating on an email Twitter Tuesday.
We would hope so. A lot of emails and tweets out of Gainesville Tuesday night.
There's Jones now. Atlanta has taken a 6-5 lead in St. Louis in the 9th inning, by the way. St. Louis's bullpen is faltering.
That must be off Rosenthal, Trevor Rosenthal.
Well, it was, and now he's out of the game.
Wow.
Jones, a 6-game streak coming in. Marlins have seen everybody in the West except for Arizona. Marlins saw Colorado early. The Rockies have been hot since the Marlins saw them. And of course, on this tour, the second time the Fish have seen San Diego, second time they've seen Los Angeles, and their first look at the Giants, who returned to South Florida in August.
Yeah, the Marlins do not see the Diamondbacks until July 7th.
Jones, a little tapper. Morse waits and steps on the bag. And Vogelsong, moving it in and out, changing speeds, is in control.
Marlins and Giants, a beautiful day here in San Francisco, and AT Park is one of the great ballparks in Major League Baseball, and it has some of the best views. It's one of the few ballparks where you may actually want a seat in the 300 level as opposed to lower levels, because not only do you have a great view of the field, but you get to take in beautiful San Francisco Bay, the Bay Bridge, the boats on the water. On a day, guys, it is really one of the best views in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, Allison, when they selected this site to build the ballpark, this was not a great area of town, but it was right up against the water, and once they built it, it has become just a jewel in Major League Baseball. You look like you're having fun up there.
It is absolutely gorgeous up here, guys. It's much warmer today than those night games, so certainly more enjoyable to be up here because it is breezy on a day game. Also, this is where the splash cam is, so all the splash hits, the balls that land out there in McCovey Cove, are only splash hits, by the way, if they hit the water without bouncing on land at all. So they're all shot from the camera up here, and there's several kayakers in the water hoping to get lucky and grab a home run today. 66 have been hit by Giants into the water there. 3 of them this year, a couple by Brandon Crawford. And I did a little research. The only guy that's currently on the Marlins that has hit a splash hit here at AT Park, Garrett Jones, when he was with Pittsburgh.
And Allison, a lot of fans, you see the splash hit meter. A lot of fans ran beta breakers and then came to the ball game. One of the bald dudes, who was close to 70, ran beta breakers.
Good for him.
And is now one of the bald dudes. I wonder if he ran in his bald dude outfit.
I would say yes.
I don't think you can run in that event if you don't have a costume. I mean, like if you just showed up in shorts and a
You can't run. No.
shirt.
No. Got the old glove, too.
See, and I love the fact that the ball dudes bring the gloves that they had when they were kids or teenagers. Most of the ball dudes that you see, or dudettes, as they call them here, show up with their gloves from back in the, 50s or 60s. Counts full. Brandon Crawford, Ryan Vogelsong, Gregor Blanco for the Giants here in the 4th. Crawford bounced out to end the 1st. That's where the Giants did their damage. They got 3 runs against Turner, and since then Turner's been just dynamite. He has struck out 5 of the last 7 he's faced. College baseball fans, Sun Sports on Tuesday has got day 1 of the ACC College Baseball Tournament. Some of the top teams in the country go head-to-head in a shot for the ACC Tournament title. Back-to-back live coverage Tuesday starts at 11 a.m. on Sun Sports.
Yeah, getting near that, you got the tournaments going on. That'll be the College World Series.
Some ACC players involved in this one. Buster Posey from Florida State. Derek Dietrich, a shortstop at Georgia Tech. Jam shot. Vogelsong bounces. Echeverria bare hands and gets the out at first. Jeff Baker, a Clemson Tiger. Jeff Mathis, an honorary Seminole. Here's Gregor Blanco now. So 8 in a row set down by Jacob Turner. Blanco hit by a pitch in the 1st, walked in the 2nd.
I guess the difference would be a little better command, the ability to put some of the hitters away when he's gotten ahead. His velocity, when you watch Jacob Turner, it's a very easy delivery, but he keeps that velocity with the fastball 92 to 94.
Topped out at 95, and his 2-0 is up. He just can't seem to pitch to Blanco. It was one of the trouble spots in the Giants' order for Turner today.
Sometimes you just can't figure out different splits on hitters. Blanco's hitting around 320 at home. On the road this year, he's 1 for 29. Good movement with that fastball.
Blanco, the 30-year-old Venezuelan, his 6th year in the big leagues. Inside corner. Wow. Jacob Turner is dazzling right now. He has set down 9 in a row with 6 strikeouts. South Florida's fastest growing Lexus dealer, price, service, selection by the Florida Department of Transportation. Drive sober or get pulled over, and by your local Acura dealer. And on this road, if you're not sober, you're in trouble. That's Lombard Street.
And you get really good traction with an Acura, too.
It is one of the cool streets and unique areas in San Francisco. One of the steepest streets you'll find, but they've gotten around that with a winding path down the street. No skateboards allowed. Lucas takes a breaking ball as the 5th inning is underway. Marcell Ozuna, Jeff Mathis will follow. Ryan Vogelsong has gone 4 innings. Miami's got 3 hits against him. He's hit a batter. Hasn't walked anybody. Up the middle, backhanded, Hicks, quick release. Morse couldn't hold it, and Lucas has a base hit. That would have been a terrific play by Brandon Hicks.
I tell you what, Ed, Lucas has had a real nice approach in this one today, lined out to right field. And you pointed out, Rich, with a guy who's not overpowering, Morse just couldn't hang on. The best approach is just to try to stay back and take him the other way. And the guys who've gotten the base hits have gone the other way.
Every Marlin hit, all 4 of them have been to the right side. 3 have been dumped in front of Pence in right. And Lucas gets an infield hit. And here is Ozuna. He had one of those singles back in the 3rd inning. Vogelsong, a completely different pitcher as a Giant his 2nd time through, and you've got to give Dave Righetti some credit there. So we talked about him languishing in AAA in 2010, 3 years in Japan. He didn't really stand out there, but as a Giant his ERA is 3.75 and he's 32-27, and as you pointed out, he was an all-star in 2011 with a 2.71 ERA and a postseason hero in 2012. The Tony La Russa era is one game old. And Arizona had that big win last night. It's 3-3. The Diamondbacks have just tied it against the Dodgers in the bottom of the fourth. Last night, 18-7 Arizona beating the Dodgers.
You know who's having just another tremendous year? Had a big night last night. Paul Goldschmidt.
Ozuna out in front. It's a pop-up, and it's going to land. Look out. Sandoval coming to a sliding stop. He almost slid in front of the charging Brandon Crawford.
That ball, long way to go. A lot of foul territory. Not as much as at Candlestick, but yeah, that could have been disaster for two players. Paul Goldschmidt last night, 4 for 5 at a home run, had 6 RBIs on the year. And many thought Goldschmidt could have won the MVP last year. On the year, he's hitting .324 with 9 home runs and 32 RBI. So another solid year for the guy they call Goldie, Arizona.
Ozuna into center. Blanco is there. And he makes the catch. That's one of the better balls that the Marlins have hit. They really haven't barreled anything up.
And again, you notice the approach of Ozuna. He stayed back and hit a nice line drive into right center field. So a good swing, but right at Blanco. There's our matchup Tuesday night. Get to see A.J. Burnett again. Let's see how Anthony DeSclafani reacts his second start as a major leaguer.
Well, if Dodger Stadium didn't faze him with that star-packed lineup, he faces a Philly team with a lot of household names. Ground ball base hit. Mathis sends one into left field. And here comes Turner, who set down a sacrifice bunt.
Good job by Mathis. That sets up that situation for Jacob Turner.
And it also sets up the nuance in this lineup that you pointed out. Without Stanton, Yelich moves to the 3 spot. Suddenly you've got Echeverria in the leadoff spot. Yelich with a little more pop is down in the 3rd spot. Let's see if Turner can get the bunt down here. Morse is creeping in. Gorgeous bunt. Nice
Beauty.
job. Sandoval picks it up, fires, and gets him. Just
Boy,
barely.
That's a beautiful bunt, and he almost got himself a base hit. So 2 nice sacrifice bunts from Jacob Turner. He knew he wanted to get this one up the 3rd base line, make Sandoval field it, and that was a bang-bang play at first base.
All right, here's Echeverria. Singled in the 1st, bounced out in the 3rd. Echeverria, one of the Marlins who has spent a good deal of time this year going the other way, going into right field, going into center field. So let's see if he keeps that same approach. Bangs it up the middle. Diving stop by Crawford, and he gets the out. Saving 2 runs in the process. Brandon Crawford to his left, and it's still 3-0. chest protector T-shirts, which is
that's a cool shirt.
That's a giveaway today here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Very nice. Wednesday, the Marlins and the Phillies go at it. 7:10, it's the Kids Eat Free Wednesday night. Every child 12 and under with a ticket will get a coupon for a free KM Beef Frank, a bag of Frito-Lay chips, small Pepsi, or Aquafina water. Marlins.com is the place to go for tickets. Hunter Pence, Buster Posey, Pablo Sandoval. Jacob Turner has done an about-face from the first inning. And even into the second, he gave up a hit to Vogelsong and a walk to Blanco. And since then, he's mowed down 9 in a row, striking out 6 of them. Hence a chopper. Echeverria on the run, whips it. Got it. Whip it good. And there's one out.
You can whip it.
Crawford made a terrific play to save a couple runs, and Echeverria answers with one here.
Well, we're seeing a couple of dandy shortstops in this series. Crawford, one of the better young shortstop, as is Echeverria. On the run, had to make sure he had a good grip. Almost pulled Garrett Jones off the bag, but a lot of times that first baseman appears to come off, but he comes off after he catches the ball. So nicely done by Etch. It was a little get back because he was just robbed by Crawford. I think if you talk to Chuck Hernandez about the change in Jacob Turner, you hear the term, and it looks like he's finishing his pitches much better. The ball's coming out of his hand crisper than in that first inning. The fastball has movement. He doesn't throw a straight fastball.
You could see after that tough first inning, the pitch count has just dropped. He's at 87 here in the 5th. To right, Lucas makes the catch. So far, so good for Ed Lucas in his first big league game in the outfield.
Yeah, he's doing all right. And as I mentioned before, it's a very difficult right field to play here at AT&T Park.
Standings brought to you by Lexus, your South Florida Lexus dealers. And that reflects Atlanta's win over St. Louis. The Nationals have gone to 23-20. The Marlins are a game back at 23-21. Of course, the Phillies coming in on Tuesday for a 3-game series. Sandoval, left center field. It's well hit. Ozuna goes back. He looks. It's gone. Third of the season for Sandoval, a solo shot, 4-0 San Francisco.
You talked about when Sandoval gets that power back. There's that same fastball that moved, but it moved right in the middle of the plate. And Sandoval has the kind of power that he can go the opposite field. So in this series, Sandoval now 6 for 14.
Here's Morse now. Echeverria again makes the play. Inning over, but not before Pablo Sandoval puts another run on the board. 4-0 San Francisco. Marlins and Giants, finish of a 4-game weekend series on a glorious day here in San Francisco with Tommy Hutton, Allison Williams, Preston Wilson, Rich Waltz with you. The Marlins winners of 2 of 3 coming into this 4th game. But Pablo Sandoval has made it 4-0 with a solo shot in the 5th. And the Marlins have not solved Ryan Vogelsong at all. Derek Dietrich, Christian Yelich, and Casey McGee against the 36-year-old right-hander. And Vogelsong is out in front. Dietrich hit by a pitch his last time up. Giancarlo Stanton getting the day off. Reed Johnson also getting the day off, banged up a bit. The good news for the Marlins after this stretch of, 20 games in a row in 20 days?
20 games in 20 days, and coming into that stretch, the Marlins
will pop up
with 12-7.
You can see the sun and the sunglasses of Crawford and Sandoval. So there's one out. Here's a programming note for those of you that love college baseball. The ACC tournament is actually on Fox Sports Florida. We were told Sun, but the SEC tournament is on Sun. So you ACC fans hang out on Fox. SEC fans look for Sun. So now we went through all the ACC players in this series. So should we go to the SEC players? We can start with DeSclafani. Tim Hudson is an Auburn guy. Now let's look down the Giants roster. We've got guys that played at Texas A&M, but they were not in the SEC at the time. Yelich, who would have been an ACC player had he not signed with the Marlins. He was headed to the University of Miami.
And you know what? I think the day off will be good for Christian Yelich, too. Yeah, the other thing that takes a lot out of a player in a stretch such as this, not only the 20 consecutive days, but a good portion of it, the back end of it, on the West Coast. You got the time difference, and you have a lot of players with family and friends out in this area. So dealing with that, it can take a little bit out of you mentally. So I think everybody's going to enjoy the nice flight back, and they'll enjoy the Monday off.
Ryan Vogelsong is enjoying this Sunday so far. He's thrown a 5-hit shutout. Spins up another breaking ball. And he's out in front 1-2. Crawford has had an excellent day out there at short, but he throws wide, and he's going to pick up a throwing error. And McGee is aboard. Well, he's made the really tough plays, but that one he did not make.
It's amazing how so many times you see that routine play, and how, and in this case, a shortstop just doesn't get the body and the arm angle in the right spot because it's fairly routine. Even though he was a couple of steps on the grass, he knew he had time with Casey McGee, the runner.
So E6. Now Jones. Garrett Jones is flied out, bounced out.
Vogelsong falls behind at 2-1. The Giants finishing things here with the Marlins. They have an off day before they go to Colorado for just a 3-game series. And then they're back home for the Twins and the Cubs.
You know, looking back on the career of Vogelsong, he had Tommy John surgery way back in 2001. So he's done a lot of pitching since then. Pitched in Japan.
Jones on his way to first. And Ed Lucas comes to the plate.
First walk of the game issued by Vogelsong.
I think just in talking about Vogelsong having Tommy John surgery so long ago, a good homework assignment for us over the next couple of days is talk to Randy Wolf and find out what advances they've made in that procedure and in that surgery, because Wolf had it early in his career and he just had a second one about a year and a half ago.
I think from what I've read, I know one thing that he has said he's going to certainly convey to Jose Fernandez: stick with the program. You have to stick with the rehab program and be diligent with it.
Gene Machi in the bullpen. McGee's at second. Jones is at first. Lucas, an infield hit, 1 for 2.
Realized the base hit. Ed Lucas was able to get in the 5th inning. Broken 0 for 14 stretch this year that he had against right-handed pitching. All the damage he's done so far this year had been against left-handers. 7 for 13 against lefties.
So the crowd wants a strikeout. Lucas looking for contact with 2 outs and an 0-2. And it's out. 1-2. Vogelsong at 84 pitches. Machi is ready in the pen. It's 4-0 Giants. 3 early runs in the first and a Sandoval homer in the 5th. Lucas, the 31-year-old out of Port Orange, Florida, Dartmouth, Ivy League Player of the Year in 2004. Up and in. Toyota Trend, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. 2 other categories that these 2 teams sit atop. One of the nuances of this ballpark, with the bullpens down each line, it's such a small footprint. They had no place to put the bullpens in the outfield. That just like that, you'll get a ball that rolls by the catcher just out of nowhere when it pops through the bullpen and rolls down towards the plate.
Usually have that a lot more in the minor leagues than at big league ballparks.
Chicago, Oakland, San Francisco, any others that have the bullpens down the baselines? 2-2. Got him. Lucas strikes out. Vogelsong, 6 shutout innings.
Too bad it's not an email Twitter Tuesday because I'm inside at Cafe social media headquarters for the Giants. Quite the setup out here. Monica, what do you guys have going on?
So basically we're here monitoring all the chatter that's going on Instagram and Twitter revolving the Giants. And we have a hashtag of the game every game, and today it's hashtag vote SFG. We're also featuring Instagram pictures and tweets that are going on throughout the game on our board.
This is incredible. 4 computers out here, a touch screen, 8 different computer screens to monitor all this stuff. As a social media contestant for the Marlins, I have to admit, guys, I'm a little bit jealous.
I could see you with a get up like that.
Wow, what a setup.
On Tuesday nights. Oh, there she is. Look. With the glove and the wind.
It is very breezy out here. Guys, how about that setup, though, in the At Cafe? The ladies said that they go through tens of thousands of tweets and posts on Instagram. It's quite the setup they have out there. They're there for each and every Giant game. The thing that had everybody abuzz on Instagram and Twitter last night, apparently, breaking news, guys, Tim Lincecum shaved his mustache, and everybody was going nuts online on social media.
He might have heard us talking about it.
Tyler Colvin is up right now. Brandon Hicks, Brandon Crawford. There's the At Cafe, powered by caffeine.
I'm trying to think if that might be the one of a kind in the major leagues.
Well, this is Silicon Valley is just south of here, and certainly cutting edge here on the Pacific Rim in terms of technology. And so, yeah, I could see that.
Boy, good pitch to put away a hitter who got a base hit that drove in a run in that first inning. Good breaking ball by Turner to get Colvin.
268th consecutive sellout, 41,551. That one is foul off the bat of Brandon Hicks. Well, for Jacob Turner, after giving up 3 runs in the first, Pablo Sandoval's home run in the 5th is really the only blemish. And he's stockpiled strikeouts. He's got 7 of them. Hicks had an RBI hit back in the first. Well, Austin Williams has been everywhere in this ballpark. It was interesting the other night out in the garden that they are building out in center field, where they've actually removed portions of that fence out there, changed the wind currents, and some think that that's changed a little bit of the dynamics in the ballpark.
And you knew that it would be an organic garden.
And that's not from some meteorologist or construction guy. That's from players and coaches who have been in this ballpark a long time. Ozuna's there, and he makes the catch. Fox Sports Supports especially proud to recognize the Army's Gold Star Pin campaign, and it honors families of fallen service members. To learn more, visit goldstarpins.org. Crawford was bounced out and struck out.
And you would imagine this will be Jacob Turner's last inning. He's due up 3rd when the Marlins hit in the 7th.
Well, 101 pitches, and with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, Turner the chance to get through 6.
101 pitches and over 30, I believe, in that first inning. But a whole bunch of quality pitches since that time.
Well, that's the hope for a young pitcher, and Turner still is a young pitcher. He turns 24 here in 3 days, is that you can capture or bottle what he was able to do from the second inning on and carry that over to the next start. It's funny how with a start like this with Turner, he gives up the early runs. If he were a veteran out there, you might say, well, the veteran got knocked around, but then he was smart enough and savvy enough to pull it together. Well, that's kind of what Turner has been able to do.
And ironically enough, with the 7 strikeouts, Jacob Turner has tied his career high in strikeouts. Struck out 7 Padres last June.
And he will be 23 in a few days, not 24. So he is young. He's even younger than I thought he was. Here's a 2-2. And it's outside.
It's one thing when you misread a note. I misread my own note, of which I put down 23 May 21st.
Foul back to the screen. But I mean, that's the narrative, isn't it? I mean, sometimes with a young pitcher, it's the inexperience of starting the game and giving up 3 runs, whereas if it were a guy like Tim Hudson or a veteran guy, it's, hey, look at how he was able to pull it back together.
So you like when a young pitcher can build on an experience like this, and you hope that he does.
Carter Capps is up and headed to the bullpen. To right, into the wind. Lucas is there, and he makes the catch. Hit into that wind, and Lucas, getting his first start in the outfield, runs it down. Against Ryan Vogelsong. Jacob Turner, a rough start and a real nice finish for the 22, soon to be 23-year-old right-hander of St. Charles, Missouri. And Carter Capps get a little long toss in there before he climbs the mound and gets ready for the bottom of the 7th. This would be the top of the 7th.
Well, not only did Jacob Turner make a nice comeback after that first inning. He dropped down 2 beautiful sacrifice bunts, so he did his job at the plate as well.
Ozuna takes down low. Those of you that are following the Heat and the Pacers capture game 1 in Indianapolis. This is game 4, Marlins and Giants. Marlins have won 2 of 3, but today Ryan Vogelsong has been really tough to handle for a young Marlin lineup without Giancarlo Stanton, who's getting a day off.
You know, when you think about Vogelsong, he's low man on the totem pole as far as salary. Talking about the starters for the Giants.
1 year, $5 million.
So he's at 5. Matt Cain's at $20 million. Lincecum 17, and Hudson 11.
Ozuna has singled and lined out. Miami has just 5 hits in the ball game. None of them worth noting. I mean, nothing, no ringing double, no searing liners. Just some bloops into right, an infield hit by Ed Lucas.
Probably the hardest hit base hit was the one by Mathis.
A sharp ground ball in the hole into left field, and down goes Ozuna. The Giants, on the other hand, got to Jacob Turner early in the first. Turner got out in front of Gregor Blanco, the Giant leadoff man, in the first, but then hit him. He then stole second. Posey on a sacrifice fly, and then 4 consecutive hits and a 3-0 lead. Pablo Sandoval added a solo shot, a home run in the 5th. And that's how these two teams have arrived at 4-0 on a brilliant day in San Francisco.
Yeah, you think about the hits. Echeverria's was hit it okay, but a little bit off the end of the bat to right field. Ozuna's was a broken bat to right field. Casey McGee a little bit out in front into right field. An infield base hit by Lucas. And then the hard hit ground ball by Mathis.
And here is Mathis with the count 1-1. Reed Johnson, as we told you, available to pinch hit. Pitcher spot due up third this inning. And the Marlins, who started this road trip, Mike Redmond and the Fish went into San Diego, won the first game, then dropped 3, then found the news one morning, awful, that Jose Fernandez had an elbow injury and needed Tommy John surgery. Dropped 2 of 3 in Los Angeles. Getting 2 games here in San Francisco against a team that had the best record in baseball to start the series. Marlins were hopeful that with a win they could get home at 5-6 on this long trip, but right now down 4-0. Mathis strikes out. And so Vogelsong punches out a pair. Marlins are home for the Phillies and the Brewers, and in the Brewers series on a family Sunday on the 25th. It's a 1:10 start. First 5,000 kids get a pair of Giancarlo Stanton batting gloves courtesy of Fox Sports Florida, and all kids can run the bases after the game in the Diamond Dash. Marlins.com for tickets. So Giancarlo Stanton batting gloves. Donovan Solano emerges.
I think had someone reached base, we would have seen Reed Johnson, but with nobody on and 2 out, Donovan Solano gets the call. Very sporadic at bats, been tough for him. Not a lot of playing time. But all of a sudden, Vogelsong has struck out the last 3 hitters he's faced. And the Braves hung on and won that game. 6-5 in St. Louis.
Solano's ground ball finds Crawford's glove, and he throws him out in a 1-2-3-7 Seventh inning stretch in San Francisco, 4-0 Giants. Inning stretch, Giants are up 4-0. And it's time now for the game summary brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Most of the damage came in the first inning for the Giants after Pence got a runner over to third. Sac fly by Buster Posey. Nice hitting by Tyler Colvin to get the second run in. Brandon Hicks has done a nice job filling in at second base. He gets the third RBI. Opposite field shot by Kung Fu Panda, his third home run of the year. All 4 runs coming off Jacob Turner, who really settled down and actually tied his career high with 7 strikeouts, gave up 6 hits and those 4 runs.
And so Carter Capps making his 7th appearance. Capps, the hard-throwing right-hander that Miami got from Seattle for Logan Morrison in the offseason.
Bruce Bochy is going to go to his bench. Ire Adrianza. It's our first opportunity to.
Oh, he came in defensively the other night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I had to drop one of those on him.
But we were trying to put too much in the name. It's very simple. Ire Adrianza.
Adrianza, a 24-year-old Venezuelan switch hitter. Spent 8 years in the minor leagues. Very talented defensively. And his godfather is a former Marlin manager. Not Jack McKeon.
Not Edwin Rodriguez.
Not Freddie Gonzalez. Ozzie Guillen. Adrianza now. Gregor Blanco, Hunter Pence will follow. Giants have a couple relievers loosening up in their bullpen. And Capps, who has that unique delivery, fires one outside. Santiago Casilla, Jeremy Affeldt. That one back to the screen with a crash.
Capps took a little bit off that fastball, just at 95.
Spins one up there and misses high. And it's 2-1 around the division in the East. Braves came back and beat the Cardinals 6-5, rallying in the ninth. Nationals 6-3 over the Mets. So the Braves are going to stay up in first at 23-19. The Nationals 3 over at 23-20. The Phillies clobbered Cincinnati 8-3. Cliff Lee getting the win. Phillies are now at 19-22. Mets are 3 under at 20-23. Miami open play 2 over 23-21.
And if the Marlins aren't able to come back in this one, they will head home a game and a half out behind both Atlanta and Washington.
Adrianza to left. Yelich using the glasses and the glove to fight the sun. Fan photo time. Hashtag FL Fan Photo. It's your chance to be in a future telecast. It's brought to you by AT&T. So tweet your photo and maybe you'll end up like these two. DN Greenstring.
Got the red-orange hat. I think we always see a lot of those, not only on the road, but in Miami as well.
Marlins have sported those on the road or at home.
I want to say on Friday night. Not 100% sure, though, but I think on Friday night they break out the red-orange hats.
Blanco is up. Caps touching 99. I guess the real question for the Giants the next time the Marlins see them, can they continue to do what they're doing offensively and survive without a dominant rotation? Their rotation is not what it has been in the past.
Bruce Bochy and the Giants will be in town right after the All-Star break.
But their offense is far surpassing anything that they've had recently. Whew. Wow. There was a lot of things going on there. First of all, Blanco somehow got out of the way of that. And then he had wind kicking up dust in everybody's eyes at the plate. That can't be comfortable facing Caps to begin with.
No, I tell you, your heart stops beating for a moment. It's amazing when you look at the numbers that Carter Capps put together last year pitching for Seattle. He gave up a lot more hits, 73 hits in 59 innings. He had more strikeouts than innings pitched, which is not a surprise, but he allowed 12 home runs in just those 59 innings. So that tells you a couple of things. Command, always an issue as far as putting that fastball where he wants to. I think he's been a little better with that as a Marlin.
That one fouled back into the seats. Of course, Logan Morrison has been battling a hamstring issue.
It's been a long time for Lomo on the DL.
He was on the disabled list when Seattle came through Miami. Two.
Seattle's been playing pretty good ball. Big day from Robinson Cano against Minnesota. 4 for 5 for Cano, who has his average up to 318.
Of course, the Marlins have to keep their eye on the American League West because that's the division they play in interleague play. And Oakland is coming to town. Swing and a miss there. Mathis will toss it down to first, and Caps strikes out Blanco.
You got that hard fastball, and then all of a sudden, if Carter Capps is able to command that pitch, a breaking ball, he'll pile up a lot of strikeouts. Yeah, did Oakland get double figures again today?
Oakland did. A touchdown and a couple field goals. 13-3. They beat Cleveland. And Oakland is 28-16. Jesse Chavez has been terrific.
Well, we'll get a chance to see those guys. Cespedes, Donaldson, Reddick.
Oakland did not hit a home run in that game. This may be the only two-team area in baseball where you can see one stadium from the other.
Hard to do in New York.
I don't think you could do it in Chicago.
Even on a clear day in LA, it's tough. Yeah, Chicago, no.
What makes this unique is both ballparks are on the water, and the water essentially separates the two. But it's a vastly different world here because the Coliseum, unfortunately, is fallen upon disrepair, is old, and they've had problems with the raw sewage seeping into the dugouts.
It's some heavy plumbing bills recently.
Pence is up right now. Posey on deck. And Pence smacks one into left field.
Now, you would know this, Rich, better than I. If you grow up in this area, if you're an East Bay guy, are you automatically an Oakland fan, a Raiders and A's, or do you have to be on this side? How does that work?
It depends. Geography helps in terms of Oakland's draw. Oakland fans have always kind of been the underdog type fans. The Giants, you know, like the Mets and the Yankees, the Met fans are a little more blue collar, a little more of the underdogs. Oakland fans, I think what turned everything towards San Francisco are two things. Giants were here first, and this ballpark.
Well, people forget. There were games at Candlestick Park where there were 3,000 or 4,000 people at games.
And people forget that Oakland used to fill the Coliseum in the heyday of the Bash Brothers and all of that. So,
hey, you're right about this ballpark.
This ballpark changed everything. And, of course, the two franchises, I don't know if it's a bitter dispute, but it certainly isn't pleasant. When the Giants were leveraging and threatening to move to St. Petersburg or Denver, the A's ownership let the Giants claim San Jose as their quote-unquote territory.
It's kind of come back to bite them, hasn't it?
And the Giants never, it was a favor at the time. The Giants have never given it back, and now that Oakland wants to build a ballpark in San Jose, the Giants won't let them. So, I mean, there's been a blue ribbon panel for the last 5 or 6 years doing absolutely nothing. Here's the 0-1, runner goes, and it's fouled back and out of play. I mean, the Giants were this close to going to St. Pete's.
I believe that the Trop was built without a team at that time to lure the Giants, and then it sat there for a while before it became a major league facility.
There was. They had hockey, and then they had to actually refurbish and remodel a little bit before baseball moved in. Posey at the plate, 0-2, and a throw to first.
Pence got a pretty good jump, by the way, on that foul ball by Posey.
But at the same light, though, it also speaks to the incredible job that Oakland has done to be competitive for the last 12 to 14 years with obviously limited revenue, a very small television deal. Well, the Giants have become this monolith here that's won 2 world championships in the last 4 years. I think maybe the East Bay geography works more with football, with 49ers and Raiders, although the Raiders fan base has eroded too. Here's the 0-2. Pitch out. Pence may have sensed it. And I think he stopped his mission to second.
I think the Raider fan base eroded for a few years when they moved to L.A.
That didn't help. But both franchises and both cities have enjoyed a lot of world championships.
And now the 49ers next year will be moving into a new facility.
Santa Clara,
yeah.
Which ironically is the area where Oakland wants to move, down in that San Jose area.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Here's a 1-2. And it's fouled into the seats. So the Giants have won 2 world championships. They've been to 5 World Series as the San Francisco Giants. Oakland has won 4 world championships and been to 6 World Series.
Most modern day fans would not guess that.
Another 1-2. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Posey and Caps.
You realize the shutout last night for the Marlins was their 7th shutout, which leads the National League. Looking at some of the numbers today. You know, we've talked about the pitching and the upswing in runs scored and home runs. But the Marlins, as a pitching staff, tossed their 7th shutout last night.
Mike Redmond's series of signs. Not for the pitch, but in case he wants Caps to A, throw to first, or B, pitch out. Pence is leading. 2-2 coming. He is running. And Posey swings and misses. Ball in the dirt. Mathis has it. Steps inside and gets the out. A long inning, but Carter Capps keeps the Giants off the board, and it's 4-0 San Francisco.
Be complete without getting some food, so I came to the most popular stand in the ballpark, Crazy Crabs. They serve up these fresh and delicious crab sandwiches on grilled sourdough, named for the now infamous former mascot of the Giants, Crazy Crab. It was 1984. The Giants tried to do an anti-mascot, encourage fans to boo him. Well, they did, and more. So he only lasted a year. Now it's Lucille, but before that it was Crazy Crab, and he lives on with his delicious sandwiches.
Yes, he does, and I remember those days. The Crazy, I don't know if he became the anti-mascot really quickly, because I don't know that they originally. There's the Crazy Crab. He's out at the shack. I don't know that they designed him to be the anti-mascot until Giant fans, and Giant fans were, in the day.
They were hard on him.
They were hard on him. They were hardened fans because they had to endure weather.
Then they had a great run, I think it was in the 80s, of an ad campaign as Jeremy Affeldt comes in to work, of fans coming into the ballpark with 6 or 7 blankets, getting ready to sit down and enjoy a Giants game at Candlestick.
Jeremy Affeldt's into the ball game. Danny Echeverria is up. It's 4-0. San Francisco on top. A Giants win would split this series right down the middle. The Marlins having won 2 of the first 3. Echeverria into center field, the base hit. And so the top of the order is aboard. Never too late to download the MLB.com at the ballpark mobile app. Great features throughout the year. Check in through the app. Get yourself some free tickets. Maybe get some crazy crab fries. Download the free MLB.com at the ballpark app.
Well, Etch has done his job in that leadoff spot. He's gotten on a couple of times. And remember, the Marlins got a couple of hits off Affeldt the other night and touched up their bullpen for 2 runs.
Now, Affeldt has got some lefties to face. Dietrich collapses as he pounds one off his foot or his leg. And then Yelich to follow. Casilla in the bullpen is still loose. And that can't feel good. The 2 starting pitchers are done. Ryan Vogelsong 7 innings. And he struck out 6, walked 1. Didn't give up a run on 5 hits. Jacob Turner, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, and of course 3 of those came in that first inning. A walk and 7 strikeouts. Turner really pulled it together after the first. Posey held it, wanted the call, and didn't get it.
Jeremy Affeldt has that tough delivery for a left-handed batter. He's a veteran pitcher. He'll sling that breaking ball. He ran a fastball pitch before in on Dietrich's hands.
Dietrich hung in on that one and drills it down the right field line. It's going to the wall. Dietrich's headed to second. Echeverria will stop at third. And Miami is set up second and third and nobody out. And here is Yelich. And a terrific at bat by Dietrich.
Boy, he got that slinging breaking ball and hammered it into that right field corner. So the first 2 hitters certainly setting things up. Well played by Pence. But just like that, second and third now, and nobody out.
And so Yelich, who has struck out, bounced into a double play and bounced to second. Casilla has been ready for a while now.
Because after Yelich is the right-handed bat of Casey McGee, but then another left-hander in Garrett Jones.
A roller to short. It's going to score a run. Echeverria scores. Yelich is out. Holding second is Dietrich. So Miami breaks the shutout and still has a runner in scoring position with McGee and Jones coming up, and Bruce Bochy on his way out, getting ready to change pitchers. And so Santiago Casilla comes into the ballgame. 4-1 San Francisco. It's the 8th. And the Lexus standings in the East with Atlanta's win over St. Louis by a score of 6-5. The Nationals beat the Mets 6-3. And the Phillies winners as well. They beat the Reds 8-3. Marlins are a game back, but trailing the Giants here, and they've got the A team out of the bullpen for San Francisco. And McGee going after a fastball, just missed it.
And you're not talking about Mr. T.
No,
talking about Casilla. We saw all these guys in that inning back end of the game the other night when the Marlins came back and won.
And the Giants bullpen is loaded with guys with small ERAs and big arms. Santiago Casilla is one of those. He misses away. Marlins have seen Affeldt in the ball game. Both those guys have ERAs in the mid-1s. Of course, you got Javier Lopez, a lefty specialist, still down there. Gene Machi and Sergio Romo, the closer.
You know, a game like this is where Mike Redmond really is trying to, if he can, pick that right spot to pinch hit Giancarlo.
He's got Garrett Jones on deck. Dietrich at second.
That's the old catcher sets up off the plate, pitches right there, and everybody in the stands thinks it's a strike.
See where Posey sets up on 2-2. Breaking ball, ground ball, diving stop there. Crawford prevents the ball from getting to left field. I don't know if Dietrich would have scored or not. As it is, Crawford made sure that it stayed on the infield. It's a base hit for McGee. And here comes Jones.
Well, it's another base hit. This time he gets a hanger, a little hanging slider. Another base hit with a runner in scoring position. But we've seen Crawford, the first couple of games, he was just okay. I mean, he comes with a lot of acclaim, but we've seen him make some terrific plays today. He's gone to his left, knocked that ball down, going to his right.
Jones now is 0 for 2. Ball in the dirt. Posey got a big piece of it. Jones has a 6-game hit streak. He's not extended it. Driven in 4 runs in the series. And there's Giancarlo, bat in hand. Ed Lucas is on deck. Against this bullpen, you get a shot, you better take it.
And that's exactly right. Because you might not get this shot the next inning. So I think right now Red is thinking about pinch hitting Stanton if it stays the way it is for Ed Lucas.
Well, it's 3-0 now, and if Casilla doesn't throw a strike, you have the opportunity to bring Stan to the plate with the bags loaded, down 3 in the 8th.
And they have to throw strikes to him.
I don't know that that was a strike.
Well, that's as a hitter. When you take a 3-0 pitch and it's that bad, you say to the home plate umpire as discreetly as you can, you say, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a called strike on 3-0.
It's been a rough day for Kerwin Danley.
If you say, what were you thinking, he might toss you. But you can say it doesn't have to be.
And Danley right now is talking to Garrett Jones.
He ought to be talking to himself. He's missed a bunch of them today.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Jones fouls it back to the screen. And you see Stanton is ready to go. Sergio Romo getting loose. Jones stayed on that breaking ball nicely. And it looks like Casilla has dialed it in. Pitch number 4 should have been ball 4. It was a 3-0 pitch, and it was well out. Casilla now with a count 3-2. Jones fights off a good low fastball.
Nice job. That's another thing that we've seen Garrett Jones is he's just progressed and gotten hot on this road trip. He's gotten more consistent. He's fouled off pitches like that. That was a pitcher's pitch. He just stayed alive and fouled it off. And trust me, in his mind, he knows that pitch that was a called strike wasn't a strike. So if anything's close, he's going to have to swing.
Another 3-2. Hammered. Just foul. Wow. Just foul. And that would have been a game changer. Marlin bullpen had to scatter, and everybody had a good look at it.
It's like Brad Hand was right there, had the best look of anybody, but it was just foul.
Jones has to come back to the plate, collect himself. Posey went out to talk to Casilla. Romo, meanwhile, has had enough time to get loose, and if the Marlins do pinch hit for Lucas, it might be Romo that Stanton faces. And Jones just keeps fighting pitch out.
This is good stuff. This is a good AB. Good battle.
He's fouled off 5 pitches here. Mike Dunn, Brad Hand. Again, another 3-2. Got him. Struck him out. Here comes Stanton. And we'll see if Bruce Bochy goes to Romo, or if he lets Casilla pitch to Stanton.
Boy, that was a good battle by Garrett Jones. And you just once in a while say, okay, that time, Casilla, you won the battle.
You can see Bochy just nodded to Posey to go out and talk to Casilla, and that's likelihood means he's going to go get Romo.
Romo doesn't throw as hard, but he has that deceptive slider.
Nope, Boch is staying put. So Stanton will pinch hit. This is not something he's done a whole lot in his career, because when healthy, he's usually in the starting lineup.
Well, and he certainly hasn't done it this year, because today was the first game he's not started.
Stanton pulls it foul.
Sometimes, especially for someone who doesn't pinch hit a lot, sometimes that's the best thing that can happen. You get a swing out of the way, you foul it off. Boy, and he had a nice career here at AT Park. 9 career home runs against the Giants, 5 here.
Dietrich and McGee at the corners. It's way outside. It's either way outside or pounding them in. Stanton tripled and homered last night. End of the bat, shallow right, Pence is in, and he makes the catch. And the Marlins get just the 1 run. 4-1 San Francisco. Look at that. That is a Beta Breakers flash mob.
Where's Allison? Is Allison in that group?
Well, these are some of the runners from Beta Breakers. It's a flash mob, Tommy.
A-Dub's a runner.
There she is.
She just didn't have time today.
41,000 here in San Francisco. 268 consecutive sellout. And some of them have run in the Beta Breakers race this morning. Giancarlo stands out in right field. And Brad Hand is in for the Marlins. He gets Pablo Sandoval, Mike Morse, and Tyler Colvin. Sandoval has a home run. He is singled. Hand last appeared early in this series.
Toughest part for a young pitcher, in the case of Brad Hand, is trying to figure out what role he has in the bullpen. I mean, for the most part, I think we talked about it his last outing. He's, as a minor leaguer, worked as a starter.
Giants with 4 runs. They've got 7 hits. 3 early runs against Jacob Turner. And then Sandoval's home run stretched it to 4-0 in the 5th. Miami getting a run in the top of this inning. Arizona on top of the Dodgers 5-3. That's going into the 9th. McGee cuts across, gets the out. There's not a lot of warm and fuzzy feelings between those two teams. Marlins Live, brought to you by Checkers, is coming up. That's why Allison was not in the flash mob, nor Preston, mind you. They're getting ready. Missed calls. The road trip ends. Look, no flash mob. Just intent studying, sunglasses on.
A-Dub and Preston have been styling the scarves also while we've been here in San Francisco.
This is a scarf-like city.
My scarf was a late addition to the wardrobe. It's nice enough today. You can go with or without. So I had it. I figured I'd throw it on for post game. You know.
Allison, have you felt the same pressure that Tommy and I have ever since Preston has started working for Fox Sports Florida, that we had to up our game in terms of fashion?
Yeah, you guys aren't the ones that have to sit next to him. Okay? I mean, he's the best dressed man in baseball. He's to the point where he's nicknaming his suit, and I got to try and hold my own next to him. That's a lot of pressure.
What's the nickname for that suit?
Nicknaming
the gentleman.
Nicknaming the suit.
That's the gentleman.
Yes, before the game, before we did Marlins Live, he said to me, he goes, you know what, I think I'm going to name my suits. This is the gentleman. I'm not lying, am I?
She's got him. She's got him. Here's a 2-2 to Morse. Good fastball by Hand, 95 miles an hour. And he strikes out.
You and I talk to scouts. We get the opportunity to see a lot of them up here in the press room. They, to a man, they love the stuff that Brad Hand has. I mean, you look at a left-hander who can throw 94, 95 and can mix it up with a good curveball and a changeup.
Colvin now. Romo is ready in San Francisco's bullpen. And the Marlins have Ozuna, Mathis, and the pitcher spot due up. And they still have, as pinch hitters, Reed Johnson, Jared Saltalamacchia, Jeff Baker. Oh, 2 is up. See, Colvin's going with the sunglasses on this bright day. Full count, 3-2. He lost him. Colvin aboard. Brandon Hicks is coming up. Interleague play today. The Yankees beat the Pirates 4-3. Yankees are 4 over now. Pirates a rough season. They're 8 under.
That was the first game of a doubleheader. That was a regular, no split doubleheader. That was just a regularly scheduled doubleheader.
And in the second game, the Pirates have answered. They've got a 4-3 lead. That's top 8, and that's at Yankee Stadium. Hicks swings and misses. Be interesting to see where Brandon Hicks is when the Giants arrive in Miami after the All-Star break. Hicks, a guy that's getting playing time as Marco Scutaro tries to rehab and get back. Scutaro, I believe, is actually in Miami.
Yeah, I believe so. I guess the other interesting question would be where's Marco Scutaro in his rehab at that time?
Ball and a strike. Cody Ross has homered today, along with Eric Chavez. And right now, Addison Reed is trying to close the game for the Diamondbacks. 5-3 lead over the Dodgers in the top of the 9th. Hanley Ramirez, Adrian Gonzalez have homered for the Dodgers. Full count, 2 outs. And that'll put Colvin on the move. To center, Ozuna makes the catch. To the 9th, Sergio Romo. And the Marlins down to their last 3 outs. Sports Florida is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. By your South Florida Honda dealers and sfhondadealers.com. And by Florida Power and Light. Quite a stay in San Francisco. You could cruise down Nob Hill on a cable car. The Marlins and the Giants finishing up a 4-game series. Joaquin Arias is now at third base.
Saw a peek of Alcatraz off in the distance there. Sergio Romo, the new pitcher, and boy, he is tough. He is a closer that doesn't come in smoke firing 98 miles an hour. Got kind of a crossfire delivery, very hard to pick up for right-handed hitters, and he'll throw 55-60% sliders. He'll use a fastball and has been very successful. Second in the league in saves. Romo with 14 saves, trying to nail down number 15.
An all-star in 2013. Sliders of death. And he'll sneak in a fastball if you're sitting sliding.
And 88 on the fastball.
There's the slider, and what makes it so good, Tommy, not just the break, but the location. It's always seemingly just out of the reach of a right-handed hitter.
The location and also the delivery. He has that kind of crossfire three-quarter delivery.
This is a guy that has had a really nice run in San Francisco. First as a middleman, now as the man.
Yeah, for a few years he was the man setting up Brian Wilson.
He was dynamite in the 2012 World Championship run. 10 appearances. He gave up just 1 run in that postseason. He's a free agent next year. He's in the last year of his contract. And he may have turned an ankle on that delivery. Romo strikes out Ozuna, but you saw him limp after delivering the pitch.
And he got him with that big slider.
I think it's his left foot.
It slides just a little bit as he delivered it.
Huh. Well, it didn't hurt him enough to affect the pitch. He struck out Ozuna. Now he gets Mathis.
See, his slider almost has curveball speed. See it in the upper 70s.
And again, he kind of hops.
Yeah, he's keeping that left leg up.
He's like he's flexing the left foot. I don't know if it's a cramp, but obviously he's done something. He's not feeling that.
No,
right
and
now.
I'm surprised nobody from the dugout's gone out there. I'm surprised his catcher, Buster Posey, hasn't gone out there. He's trying to gather himself right now and take a little time.
Well, let's see what Mathis gets. 0-2. That's a slider and it's out.
These are the type of situations and little injuries that sometimes can affect an arm or the way a pitcher releases the ball. With the way he's acting out there, the way he's throwing those pitches.
Counts 1-2. Romo in trying to nail down the save for San Francisco. Mathis doesn't offer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reed Johnson is on deck. Breaking ball, Mathis to left, Colvin in, and it falls for a base hit. How about that? Big swing, but he obviously didn't get much on it.
It's one of those swings that really fools an outfielder. The breaking ball hits off the end of the bat, but because he has that big swing, you kind of stay in your tracks. You think it's going to be a lot further. Colvin couldn't catch up to it once he identified the fact that it wasn't a deep fly ball. And Jeff Mathis has his second hit.
Reed Johnson was in the on-deck circle earlier, was called back when Solano pinch hit in the 7th. And so here is Johnson now. And he swings and misses at a fastball. Romo is listed at 5'10", 183. And I think maybe both are generous.
That's a stretch, especially the 183.
Slider is a strike. Oh, 0-2 to Reed Johnson. Out on the fastball. He doesn't seem to be favoring the foot anymore.
So if you're speculating, you would think maybe a cramp. So it's maybe just stretched itself out.
Johnson on the slider, pops it up. Arias just came in the game. And Miami is down to their last out. It's Echeverria.
Not too often does he hang that slider on the inner part of the plate. And Reed Johnson got a pretty good pitch to hit. The slider stayed inside.
If Echeverria can get aboard, then you get into a couple of left-handed bats in Dietrich and Yelich. Runner goes, Echeverria, right field. It's hit well. Back goes Pence, and he reaches up and makes the catch in Triples Alley, and the Giants have won the ball game. And this series, a 4-game set, is split right down the middle at 2 games apiece. Too much Ryan Vogelsong in this one for the Marlins. They never got on track offensively. And the Giants, with those early runs, they hold up in a 4-1 San Francisco win.